We are Stirling Autism Research, otherwise known as STAR, and this video aims to share some of our recent research. In this video, we will be summarising a recent journal article by Monique Botha and her collaborators Bridget Dibb and David Frost called Autism is Me, an investigation of how autistic individuals make sense of autism and stigma. Although there is an emerging focus on ethical participatory autism research has traditionally excluded and dehumanised autistic individuals. For example, there has been research which questions autistic people's ability to read others' minds or empathise with others, although we know that autistic people can do these things. Autistic people do not tend to want to be treated or cured, but rather accepted and supported as autistic people. The aim of this interview-based qualitative study was to use grounded theory tools to investigate what autistic people consider their autism to be, their experience of autism, and notions of autism versus neurotypicality. Grounded theory seeks to generate new theories which are grounded in data. This data-driven approach means that we build theory from people's own narratives of their own lives, rather than focusing on scientists' perceptions of people's lives, which are often inaccurate. This approach uses specific techniques such as theoretical sampling and reflexivity, and facilitates rich, in-depth analysis, meaning that the process and analysis is flexible and inclusive. A total of 20 autistic participants from around the world took part in interviews. Participants could take part by being interviewed either in person or virtually. Non-speaking autistic people could take part through either a text-based typing system or over email. The researchers analysed the themes or patterns people spoke about. The core themes noted focused around identity and stigma. Firstly, in terms of identity, participants talked about autism as something neutral, similar to any other feature like sexuality or hair colour. However, participants discussed a tension between how they see autism and how society sees it, viewing stigma and stereotypes as destructive to their identities and lives. Participants struggled with how negatively they felt society perceived their autism and felt like they were constantly managing the effects of stigma on their identity. Participants also defined autism as the lens through which they understood and interacted with the entire world, making it something that cannot be separated from them or their identity. Participants rejected the idea that suffering was inherent to autism, instead viewing it as a product of not being accepted in a neurotypical world. In terms of stigma, participants talked about a general sense of stigma existing around autism, affecting lots of different aspects of their lives. Because of this stigma, participants talked about how hard it was to decide whether to tell other people they were autistic or not. When people concealed or masked the fact they were autistic, this was mentally exhausting and they felt like they were being judged as different anyway. On the other hand, being out as autistic put them at risk of being discriminated against. In this way, participants described being between a rock and a hard place. Participants also talked about managing stigma by reclaiming language. Part of the process of destigmatization includes reclaiming identity-first language, autistic, to redefine the meanings associated with autism to be less negative by making it clear it is not something that can or needs to be separated from them as people. Participants felt that by using identity-first language, other people would come to associate more positive sentiments with autism. This process may be important as self-labelling may result in feelings of increased power. Thank you for listening to today's video. Please subscribe and click the bell button to be notified when another video has been made related to autism research. If you would like to learn more about our work, please follow us on Twitter and visit our website. You can also find a link to the full paper in the description below.